Yeah, ahead of the big game on Sunday, let's hear from both managers, Mikel Arteta, but first, Erik ten Hag.
I've seen Arsenal, tough opponent. They started really well, as we all know, in the season. You can see there's a team who are longer together, who with the coach, he's bringing his coaching, his philosophy in the team. So for us, it's a good test, and I'm really looking forward.
When I was younger, watching it on TV and watching that rivalry and those special games between the two teams, obviously playing as a player, winning obviously are a beautiful feeling, and yeah, a magnificent stadium to go there and be us again as a team.
Well, what a way for Arsenal to come into this huge fixture against Manchester United at Old Trafford. Top of the table, 5 wins from 5. They couldn't be in better form, Sam. But is this their biggest test so far?
It's a proper test for both of them. It's not in terms of the fixture, it's not the clash of the titans that it used to be. But you can never really tell what's going to happen. And the interesting thing about it in terms of like maybe the fallout from the game rather than the game itself is United and Arsenal are never far away from a crisis. So all of a sudden, if United beat Arsenal, they'll be like, oh yeah, well, they won the first 5 games, but this was the first test and they failed it. If United lose, then it's, oh, well, nothing's really changed. You know, it was a false dawn. You know, you can't, these teams, there's always such a big reaction. Probably, well, it's definitely over the top. But it is going to be fascinating because it is a big challenge. This is United's toughest game since the Liverpool game. It's Arsenal's toughest game, full stop. We'll see how much United have actually improved in the last couple of weeks, how much Ten Hag's coaching is actually having an effect, and we'll see how serious Arsenal are. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Football fans, eh, Karen?
I know, yeah, all the stories you've got lined up. Yeah, it is really, you made really good points there.
Yeah. Well, look, which way can you see this game going then, Karen? Because Arsenal have had such a strong start and Manchester United have turned things around under Erik ten Hag, but they have been narrow wins. So how much can you read into that?
I mean, yeah, we watched Manchester United last night and it was pretty much back to basics, do the simple things really, really well, and it's not really convincing, but it's about results for them, and then they'll build on as the season progresses. For Arsenal, I think for the first, well, this is from last night, the mistake probably opened up from Leicester and then they just punished them, and it's good to see the youngsters up front really coming into their own now, and the confidence, and it was a good finish from Sancho. But just on the back of Arsenal, I think for them it's the consistency of the players. The first 3 games, he didn't change the team. They've had a couple of injuries now. So I'm quite intrigued, especially in the midfield area. Is Partey fit? Is Ødegaard fit? Is Ramsdale fit in goal? That's the big test for them, that if the few of their key players or the spine of the team are not in, how does that impact the team?
There's been a few question marks over a fair few of those Arsenal players coming into the game, hasn't there, Karen? But in terms of the mood at Arsenal, it's so positive. Where has that come from? Has that come from Arteta?
Probably the documentary as well. And Ramsdale. I think Ramsdale's got a massive part to play in that. When they went 1-0 down, I mean, they've gone behind in a couple of home games now, but they've come back and in a real short succession as well. But I think I've never been at the Emirates for a long time where the crowd, despite going behind, get right behind them. So there's been definitely a shift in everything that they do, not just on the men's, on the women's part as well. It's been really, really good, Arteta. But I think the documentary of showing who they are and what they're about and their culture has really helped.
Yeah. And it seems as though Arteta has instilled a belief in the side that maybe we didn't see last season. There's certainly been games this campaign where they've come from behind and won matches and just been able to churn out results where maybe in previous seasons we might have not expected from Arsenal. Yeah,
because the one thing you could say about the first 5 games is they haven't played anybody mind-blowing. And that's why the United game is an interesting test. But at the same time, Arsenal have played these kind of fixtures in recent years, and they wouldn't have won all 5. Like, no way. So there is something new going on. It just feels like a bit of a perfect storm at the moment, because I think the Jesus sign-in was quite exciting. And then he scored loads of goals in pre-season. And then he started the season really well. And even at Bournemouth, when he didn't score, he scored a really well-taken goal when he was offside. Did brilliantly to set up Martinelli, to set up Ødegaard for the first goal. So there's a lot of things there they can get a hold of. That Saliba song that they keep singing.
Which they stole from Brighton, by the way.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was Basuma's song.
Right, okay. Maybe Tottenham will try it. Probably not.
Not bitter.
Not bitter at all.
But it seemed like it just everything's, everyone's buying into it.
Is that the recruitment of character as well, though? Not just player profile?
Well, we were talking about the transfers earlier on, and the only thing you could maybe say about City their business is losing like, really good characters in the dressing room. Zinchenko, Jesus, Fernandinho, who's gone.
Sterling.
And Sterling as well. But the three I mentioned in particular, if they're not playing, they're still in really good mood.
Well,
there's still really good people around.
They've got this good start to the season. They're all in a good mood. Can they challenge?
No.
No, they can't compete with City, but the minimum should be top 4, and then the rest is up to them, really. But it is interesting when they start to play Thursday, Sunday, and then a couple of injuries, and then see how it goes. That's the big test for them.
Well, Manchester United will be in the same situation, won't they? Because they'll be playing on Thursday nights in the Europa League too. But they have invested in this transfer window, signing an £82 million striker from Ajax in Antony. What can we expect to see from him? And how is Ten Hag going to manage the minutes of him, Rashford and Ronaldo?
Well, I think he's already said those type of players will need...
You're shaking your head, Sam.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
You think?
They needed to get rid of Ronaldo, didn't they? He's not good around the place. And he wanted to go, and they've dug in and kept him. He's not played in the last 3 games when they've won. I don't think Ten Hag particularly wants to play him. Rashford's still massively out of form. Antony, did he play off the right? And they've got Sancho already.
Plays on the right, yeah.
So it's an interesting option, but it was kind of what I was saying about Chelsea having 2 great left backs. It's like you've got Sancho, you've got Antony. It's just a bit.
I think
they've got good options, but if they don't click, then it's just a bit of a mess again.
How can you see it working, Karen?
Well, I think Antony will come in on the right and he'll cut in on the left, and Sancho's better on the left, cutting in on the right. He's not going to blitz past any player with his pace, but he'll come in and link up.
Yeah,
and I think with the Thursday, Sunday, then they're going to need those players. And credit to Ronaldo, when he did come on last night, I thought he looked really sharp, because in his head he still wants goals. He still probably might want to move in the next window, and he's got the World Cup. So it's just about managing him, and
it's not easy.
That isn't easy, no, but he has a choice, and he has got that World Cup that he's got to be focused and fit and ready for, so that might go in their favour.
And in terms of Manchester United overall, Karen, obviously starting off with 2 fairly embarrassing defeats, 3 wins in a row now for them. Do you feel like that's helped just settle Erik Ten Hag into the club and maybe get some of the fans on side that were unsure?
Well, it couldn't have got any worse.
No.
The first 2 was the worst I think I've ever seen them. But, yeah, I think, like I said, they're literally going back to basics. They're not playing great. They're not... I mean, De Gea's now actually going long. They're not playing out from the back. They're not doing things that they're not, particularly strong at. They're just playing and going direct and playing first balls, second balls, and getting the confidence in the final third. Like I said, as the season progresses, they'll get better, but I'm also really impressed with Casemiro. I think he'll start against Arsenal, and I think he'll make a massive impact.
OK, let's move on and talk about Aston Villa against Manchester City now. Let's hear from Steven Gerrard.
And then a back-to-back 3 points against Newcastle. But do you know what I mean? It's not quite there compared to watching City at the moment.
Yeah, you see defensively, listen, they're going forward, they'll always score goals, Liverpool. They're outstanding. They are missing key players, but I think they've had a problem defensively this season. I think the problem is the fullbacks can go really high in Robertson and Trent. But the problem is they're holding midfielder. Sometimes he hasn't played. Fabinho, they've missed him. He's the insurance. Yeah. Virgil van Dijk, obviously he's not at the level, he's still fantastic, but not the level that he set last season. And also, I just feel they're missing Konate. I like Konate in there. When Konate plays there with Virgil van Dijk, they're both quick. So as the fullbacks go high in Trent and Robertson, they can just cover. They back themselves in a 2-on-2. But they're getting caused problems. You like Isak, he caused them problems in the midweek. But I think that result in midweek against Newcastle will kick Liverpool 1 down.